in which the founders of the religions came. So the outward rituals, the forms of practice, some of the social teachings vary from civilization to civilization, but those are the secondary teachings. The primary, the heart of all the religions is the same, that we're the children of the same God, that the path to God is through humility and compassion and obedience to His teachings. And Baha'is simply see that the Bahai Faith is the latest in a succession of chapters of God's revelation, and that Baha'u'llah has brought teachings that are specifically suited for the age we live in, an age of our coming together as a common humanity.
Fascinating. Now, you are a psychiatrist by profession, by training.
Right.
You were with the faculty of Harvard University.
That's right.
Up until 1990. And one of the projects that you're working on now is the Unity Project.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that before we get back to the Baha'i in Iran.
All right. Well, I've worked with traumatized populations for many years. I lived overseas in the Balkans after the war there, and I ran trauma programs for the State Department there. And what became very clear is that what we need to be able to prepare for the world that we're all marching into in this new century is we need skills to know how to prevent conflict and to know how to live together, especially in the face of crises. Because the heart is prone to error, and one of the errors we see that people are prone to is falling into ideologies and extremism in the face of crises. We become more rigidly identified with our ethnic groups or our religions or our national identities in the face of crisis. But how do we find another way? How do we find a way where we can see our common humanity in the face of our crises? So that we learn how to move through it together as opposed to separate. So the purpose of the Unity Project is to teach skills like that to kids.
To children. That's interesting. Now, you were very active post 9/11 with the children, many traumatized children. You brought your skills of psychiatry and your training to that. What group of children did you work with, and where did this take place?
Right. Well, many places. One was in New York City, working with the Department of Youth and Community Development of the City of New York. With after-school programs there. We created a healing arts project that worked with kids throughout the city. And I just got back from New Orleans a few weeks ago, working now with teachers down in the post-Katrina environment down there as well.
Are you the founder of the Unity Project?
Yeah.
Wow, God bless you.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a very important work that you're doing. Now, the Baha'i people are having a tough time in Iran. Can you bring us up to speed what's going on there?
Yeah, it really is a dire situation. The Baha'is have been persecuted since 1844, since the very inception of the faith. So in one sense, this is no different than it's ever been. But since 1979 and the birth of the Islamic Republic of Iran, it's become much more overt that in fact, there are at least two letters that have been intercepted by the United Nations and different communities that specifically point to policy, that it's a part of the Islamic Republic of Iran's policy to exterminate the Baha'i community.
Exterminate?
To strangulate and to restrict the development of and to cause the community to end. Yes.
Now, this is very disturbing. This is something that was always a problem, but is particularly a bigger problem at this time?
That's right. It's disturbing on a number of levels. It's certainly disturbing for Baha'is, but what's disturbing in a larger sense is the rise of fundamentalism, which really undercuts the sacred value of Islam itself. So, and it's not just Islam. Every religion has the tendency to fall into fundamentalism. It's a human tendency. So this is not an indictment of Islam, but that regime in particular is adamant about exterminating the Baha'i community, largely for the reasons we said about what the Baha'i teachings are, that a prophet has arisen after Muhammad, which to certain fundamentalist Islamic clerics is heresy. And second, because of some of the social teachings that men and women are equal, that people should find truth for themselves. There's no need for an intermediary through a priest or a mullah. And the ideas of pluralism that you mentioned. These are considered to be threatening by certain fundamentalist clerics.
According to the Islamic religion as it's interpreted by fundamentalists, there are 5 levels of status of people. Where do the Baha'i fit in that ladder?
Well, in the Islamic jurisprudence is enshrined in something called Sharia. This is the word for Islamic law. And in Sharia, there are essentially 5 categories of access to rights. The first goes to Islamic men, the second to Islamic women, the third to what they call people of the book, which are Jews and Christians. Mm-hmm. The fourth are to slaves, and the fifth to heretics and apostates, who are essentially considered people who have no legal protection under Islam. So Baha'is fall under this category. So they essentially have fewer rights than slaves. Slavery has been outlawed in Iran, yet Baha'is have fewer rights than even a slave would have if there were slaves in Iran.
How does this manifest itself actually in society? Can the children go to school? Can they vote?
Well, some of it is macabre. Baha'is are not allowed to bury their dead. They have no status as people, so they're not allowed to bury their dead.
Where do they put the dead when the people die?
Baha'i cemeteries, the corpses have been disinterred, they've been dug up. Baha'is have had to bury their dead in the floors of their homes and their backyards if they have them. It's a problem. To be able to work, to own property, to inherit, to go to school, and especially for higher education, one needs to have an identity card. And Baha'is are not allowed to have identity cards. So Baha'i businesses have been closed or confiscated, pensions have been denied, marriages have been labeled as invalid, so women have been taken from their husbands and in some cases coerced to marry Muslim men. The men then being arrested for prostitution, for marrying another woman. Children under threat of adoption into Muslim families. It's across the board attempt to eliminate the social fabric of the community.
Can the children go to school?
There is no effort in Iran right now to identify someone by their religion until they've graduated from high school, at which point a person has to declare their religion. And the options of declaring your religion are the people of the book, Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Those are the only 3 options. So Baha'is aren't allowed to designate themselves as a Baha'i, and if they do, they are not allowed to advance past that.
What about Hindus and Buddhists?
It's a good question. I think the communities of Hindus and Buddhists are very, very small, but that would apply to them as well. The Baha'is are the largest religious minority in Iran. The number of Baha'is is larger than the sum of all other religious communities together.
What is that number?
It's a little over 300,000.
Well, this is very shocking, and this is going on now.
It's going on right now.
You've been to Iran?
I've never been.
Okay, where do you get your information from?
Well, just 2 days ago, there was an article in the New York Times. The Special Rapporteur for the United Nations Commission on Human Rights just issued a statement in the middle of May 2006 on the status of the Baha'is in Iran. There are numerous such statements from the Special Rapporteur for the Commission. Also, the annual State Department human rights reports are consistently reporting this situation.
You've argued this, the case, the cause of the Baha'i before Congress?
I have not done that, but the Baha'i International Community and the Office of External Affairs for the National Community for the Baha'is in the United States has done that, yes.
All right. What can we do? Where do we write the letters? How do we get busy helping these people?
Well, you know, it's a delicate situation. On one hand, to raise concerns publicly in some ways plays into the hands of some of the mullahs who say, well, see, the Baha'is are manipulating people to foster the lies that were persecuting them. So in some ways, Baha'is have been rather careful on how we ask people to advocate on our behalf. But recently, with the deterioration of events, there really is nothing to lose by public advocacy. And I think the most prudent things to do are to address inquiries or statements to the Special Rapporteur at the UN Commission on Human Rights.
The UN Commission on Human Rights, okay.
Happy to provide you with the address there. To the State Department and specifically to the commissions there on human rights.